Yep. Looks like we're live. Let's get in there. Whoa, just got the back end show. Does this do anything automatically? Videos. I guess it does that. Okay. Text. Let's call this prototypes. Favorites. A nice green color. Favorite prototypes. Okay. How do I do the thingy? Do the thing. Andy Dev, what up? I just was just been thinking a lot. I've been thinking a lot over the last few days about what to do next. And I think what I want to do is maybe, how you doing anyway? Maybe I want to do a next. I want to do a what I want to do. What I want to do is do a phase 2 prototyping. And in this phase 2 prototyping, I want to do daisy trains, maybe even Nature Wizard, maybe both of them. But what I want to do is answer a few questions. I want to know which engine to use. I want to know which. I just want to know which game is the one to build. Yeah. Good on ya. It's good when things get back on track. This is kind of, I guess these are the two questions. They're kind of big questions. They look like small questions, but they're kind of big questions. So, I don't know. Bliss. God bless you. I don't know whether to, my theory is to start with daisy trains and, actually, in terms of engines. I guess we have first thought is Godot. Godot Pros. Open source, I guess, is good for... I guess you can read the source code. Hey, Jesse. Yeah, that could be a good question to answer. Platform targets. That could also be kind of a little later on. But it's good to think about, because then you look at your games and be like, which one's actually going to translate to those things. Godot's open source. I guess you can read the source code, which can help. You might not agree with the source code. You can change the source code. It is free, which is good. It could be the right scope match for these games, i.e. it could be like it's built to build this type of game. What else is good about Godot? Maybe Godot needs to be emboldened and italicized, and the color of Godot. Well, that's not what I intended to do. Hey, what happened? What happened? Redo. It's got fast. It's fast. It's fast to iterate in interpreted language GD script. That's quite fast. It is quite fast. Though, add to dictionary. It's popular right now. I don't know, people may gravitate towards the game because it was made, but I don't know whether that's necessarily a thing. What's the ease of art shader work in particular? Oh, what's the ease? Yeah. Okay, so the question of that kind of falls into this. It's like, which art is more achievable? Right, yeah. Pros, let's do some cons of Godot engine. It can be janky. It can be janky to work with. That needs to be a word. Oh, yeah, shaders. Oh, I see what you're saying. Godot has... it is a silly thing. You're correct. You're going to get like 0.01% of people going to make a decision based on what it was made in, which is silly. But then, exactly. I think like Unreal Engine in the AAA space is getting a lot of flack for like making games stuttery and whatnot, and all the big, well, not all of, but a lot of big companies are moving to Unreal Engine, so people are kind of seeing, I think the AAA game space is in a little of a doom spiral. I wouldn't want to be there. It's popular. Also, it's on the rise. I'll say it's on the rise. So people are excited about it. People are funding it, and people are working hard on making it better. It can be janky. Oh yeah, to go back to the shader thing. So Godot has kind of like a shader graph. It's got visual shaders. Visual shaders, which are like, you know, where am I? I'm in the latest one. Yeah, it's got graph shaders. You can put in expressions in there. It's pretty good. It does not have everything that Unity has. I found a couple of things like procedural noise and whatnot. But it's also got shading built into the editor. So it's got its own shader language, and you can write the shader code in the little shader editor, and it updates quickly. It's much more accessible. I've never written any shader code in Unity because I don't even know what the process is. I mean, you got to create a shader file. It's probably the same thing. It's just easier in Godot. Easier to come to grips with, I guess. Can be janky. 3D. I also want to ask, is 3D versus 2D as a general overall question? Can be janky. 3D is reasonably good. But is it good enough? Probably. The other cons, GD script could be a pain in the butt. Could be a pain. Not as, because I haven't used it so much, not as knowledgeable. What's up with my spelling? Performance is how good? I don't know. Oh, this one you theoretically can use C++. Yeah, that's where we're getting to here. Can GDScript handle the Jandal? I mean, that game, has anyone played, I was just doing a bit of research, this was made in Godot. There's Halls of Torment. This is a great game as a Vampire Survivors like. And this has like gazillions of enemies. You get the full yes, this has been very impressive, the amount of text and all this stuff going on. It seems to handle pretty well. I don't know if it would do as well in 3D. Oh yes, to the question from Alex, yes, we have 4 or 5 prototypes, but we've boiled them down to these 2, which is the sort of nature game, sim game, kind of. We grow a forest and you have little units protecting your forest and whatnot, and expand streams. And then we have this game that was based on a game jam game called Daisy Trains, which is like a puzzle train game. Yeah, I mean, I built this prototype here, the space game prototype, and I tried it in Godot, and things like trail rendering, I could get like, I don't know, 100 on screen or something before it crapped itself. Whereas this one, in C++, I could do 2,000 trails on screen at like 80 frames a second or something. So it depends. I think it comes down to it depends. And Godot can handle stuff, but depends how. The most complex thing at Daisy Trains is going to be just having lots of trains. Because it will, Daisy Trains. Where's my little link? It'll end up with lots of trains. Oh, I love this game. Where's the... Oh, I mean, I don't want to have to play through the game to show it, but it ends up with lots of trains. I'm sure Godot could handle it. But it just depends. It all depends. What are the cons? I guess it's object oriented. Does it have to be? Probably. It doesn't have no game preview in editor. There are workarounds. Yeah, I just used the line renderer in Godot, and in the way the only way I could see to make a trail, I mean, I could have spent longer on it, but was to just create a GD script that iterated through the trail every frame and added and removed things, which would be slow on lots of them. Nature Wizard and Daisy Train rehash is strong. What's your gut tell me? When I think about it, if I have gut reaction between these two, is this one seems like it's more creative and fun, but this one seems like more achievable and potentially a better game choice. Yeah, game preview. I saw they're working on it, and there is I just watched a video yesterday where they had someone's made a plugin that does like a Godot plugins. Was it this one? Oh god, this one.
Welcome to another
High level movement, distance join, magic macros, Godot Tracy. That's kind of cool. Embed games. Oh, this embed games.
For a while working on embedding works really well, and it's fully resizable if you need to make the
So it's like embedded game preview, and you can click on objects and open up the thing. Yeah, that's the idea. The cute Daisy Train's 3D, baby. So yeah, I guess my gut reaction is that Daisy Train seems more approachable, both from a program development point of view and from a player point of view. I feel like it's, when I think about, like, if I want to go on Godot and figure something out, I'm like, oh, I could do this with trees and shit, or I could just make a little train track generator. You know. Okay, that's good enough for Godot. Let us move on to the others. Oh, come on, lads. Godot, we're going to go with good old Unity. Unity can be that blue. Oh no, that's the same as Godot blue. Why am I so color focused? Okay, the pros of Unity actually have a lot of experience in Unity. I think Unity has a pretty good workflow. Parts of it suck, don't worry. But it is, you can make games in Unity. I feel like there's a reason so many games get made in Unity, because you can actually make games, you know. It's pretty simple. Make little prefabs, make your little scripts. The editor itself is just one screen, you know. I mean, you have a couple of other things open. Maybe you got your shader editor and stuff, but in Unity, it's proven. I think it's proven. 3D is pretty good. Can be made good. So people have made 3D games in Unity. Platform support is good. You can just make it for anything. Is C# a plus or a minus? I guess C# is a robust language. It's a full-on language, whether it's a scripting language or not. And so C# is, I'd say, a pro, even though the compile time sucks, which we'll get into. What other pros are there of Unity? There's a the new pricing says under 200K is free with splash screen. So that's says, yeah, you can now get rid of the Unity splash screen for under if you have under $200,000 or in funding or revenue. That's all right. Cons can be janky. Compile and domain loading is painful. It's object oriented. Actually, that's got to be a plus. Is I guess it's part of the workflow, but the scene editor / game view is great. That's my favorite thing about Unity, probably, is that you can play your game, click on something in the scene, and see what's going on its scripts and shit. That's actually not available in any other game engine, which is crazy. I mean, in Godot, you can go into the node tree and find the remote node tree and find your thing and do this stuff, but it's just a little bit more straightforward in Unity. You can be playing the game, see what you're seeing, and then you've got a whole nother view. You can go find objects, look at what they're doing, what their properties are and stuff. That's actually huge. Tools are somewhat not best in class. The tools are good though, but it's not the latest greatest in everything. Leadership issues. Is that a thing? Is that a thing to be worried about? Unity they did shit the bed last year by kind of changing the rules. That put so many people off. The other thing is sometimes games produced in Unity are homogeneous. Homogeneous. So you get games and you can kind of just tell, it just looks like a Unity game immediately. And I don't know whether that's necessarily something to worry about, but it does sometimes. You do sometimes see a thing and it just looks like other things. But I'm sure you can make unique looking things in Unity. Okay, let's move on. Moving on. I can't speak too much for Unreal. It's probably the one I got the least experience with, but I have worked in it. Green, maybe. Best renderer on the planet. I mean, best renderer. It looks, the rendering is amazing. C++ native support, kind of, because you need to use the Unreal C++, which is, they've abstracted C++ out to use their own kind of built on, well, they've got garbage collectors and all this built into their C++. So you can use C++, but you have to use it in their way. Best tools, it does have the best tools, particles, water if you need it, landscape, foliage, characters, modeling even. It's got everything. Blueprints, some people would say blueprints are a good thing. Oh yeah, asset store, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna preface saying the asset store is a huge bonus, and yet there is an overarching question, which is philosophy. Yeah, that's the secret one coming last. That's the secret one coming last. The thing with the engine and the philosophy of I mean, I don't know why it's in that title, but the philosophy of game dev is a question in all of these things, because each of these solutions follows a certain philosophy. And things like the asset store, the reason I left Unity was because I bought something in the asset store, which was an awesome asset, and it was going to solve all these problems for me. And then it was great value and it did great things, but then when I went to use it, it was like I couldn't figure out something about it. And then it was like, I got to read through all this code. And now I'm not only locked into Unity, I'm locked into this asset written by someone else. And now I've got all this code that I'm working on, all this code, and I can't reason about what's going on in my game anymore. I just have to trust this asset, you know? Yeah, I mean, you can open it and go through it and try and rewrite it, but this person's probably spent a year writing this code. So now you've got like all this code base that you can't definitively say you know what's actually happening. And this comes into philosophy of like, how much do you need to know? How much are you okay with abstracting away? Which you may say, it doesn't matter, just make the game. And that could be fair enough. Sorry to rant. Blueprints are they're pro. Actually, it's got a lot going for it, old Unreal, doesn't it? It's a pretty badass engine, but for some reason, also, it has cons. Yeah, no, totally. I mean, this asset I bought was called Agents Navigation, and it was like, really, it was like ECS based, and I would do crazy pathfinding. It could handle hundreds of thousands and thousands of agents, and it did like RTS pathfinding around obstacles and all this. Really cool. And then there was one thing I wanted to do was like in Space Game, I wanted to change the size of an asteroid at runtime, just like make them all random sizes. And there's just like no way to get through because it was working through some hybrid game object into a entity component system thing and like these authoring things and all this stuff. And it was like, there's no way to actually change the size at runtime of this component. And I was like, oh, this is in the custom engine I made, like this size, this one variable called size, which handles obviously the size of the game object, size of the collider, the mass of the all these things. This is one variable and it controls so much. And I was just like, I just want a size. I just want to change the size. Anyway. Okay, what other pros are there about Unreal? It's got best tools. It's got material. It's got shader editor, thingamajig, the material editor. I don't know if we need to list all that. That's part of tools. It is actually open source. You can access the whole engine. Don't know how helpful that is. So extra art, audio, effects, sound effects. Yeah, that's the thing. Every developer's got like a strength and a weakness, or strengths and weaknesses. Like some would be more happy writing the code, some would be more happy making the art. Yeah, it's funny, eh? Like I've bought so many assets. One asset that I do use in every project in Unity is Odin serialization. That thing's badass. That thing opens up a whole lot of doors. Odin serializer, the DoTween library thing, they're pretty standard. Okay, the cons of Unreal is it's a behemoth. Has one of everything. We don't need everything, but it has everything. I'm going to say C++ workflow is questionable. I don't know if anybody's ever done this, but like, I'm pretty sure if you write C++ code, you need to recompile the whole engine. So you need to close the engine, recompile the whole engine, and open the engine to see your changes. maybe there's a better way of doing it, but I don't know. That was my experience. Blueprints, prints. Do we want to make logic in a graph editor? Do you want to do a for loop, a complicated for loop in Blueprints with like little wires and spaghetti going everywhere? What are the other cons of the pricing is actually another good one for Unreal. You don't have to pay for it. Don't have to pay until you make $1 million. It's a problem I don't mind having. The engine feels like it's made for FPS third-person shooter games. It just does. Have you ever had that experience? That it you like, have you ever tried making a top-down camera in Unreal? You know, in Unity, you just make a camera, and in this, you got to like make a camera. You got to wire up all this logic to set it as the camera. It builds all these things. The engine wants you to use its tools, not make your own. That's another thing. Unity's cool for. Unity kind of encourages you to make your own stuff. Whereas Unreal is like, don't worry, we've already made a thing for that. We've made a thing for all the AI and all the stuff. Use our thing. There's a thing called player controller, and you're like, why does it have so many features on it? What if I don't want my player to be controlled like that? Okay. And then there's the other one. Then there is custom engine. Yeah, true that. What did I do? Okay, the pros of the custom engine. And I'll just put here, I'll preface this as like using Raylib. The pros are control over everything, except Raylib, which you can adjust. This will be OpenGL. Oh, wait. This is pros, my bad. Potential for huge performance. If you need performance, there is you own the tech. That's like a future investment in the future. It's a learning journey, which could make for good content also. Unreal reminds me of fishing with dynamite. I like that. Yeah, you're like, I want a particle system that makes 10 particles a second. It's like, do you want to make 1 million particles a second? Do you want them to be physically accurate? Fluid dynamics. What are the pros of the custom engine? The game has a better chance of being unique. The cons. Massive time required to build. Raylib is free and open source. So there's no, and you're allowed to, you can do anything with Raylib. I believe. Raylib. Raylib features, powerful fonts, bloody blah, free and open source. Check out the license. License under unmodified zlib libpng license, OSI certified BSD. Static linking with closed source software. Anyone to use the software for any purpose, including commercial apps, alter, redistribute, subject to the following. Origins of software must not be misrepresented. Altered source versions must be plainly marked as such. Okay. So you can do whatever you want with it, essentially. The cons are much more difficult in theory to produce results, especially 3D results. Is this maxed? What's happening? Get bigger. Is this as big as it gets? You've reached the text limit. I've written too much text. Okay, I'll just take a couple of lines because that's kind of the same thing. Open source isn't that big a deal. Yeah, and you need a you must leave the that disclaimer in the source code. The cons could result in lower quality. Could pass off as style. I will admit that I was pretty set on doing the game engine. In fact, I spent some time over the weekend messing around with, well, I wanted to, how is this? That's me trying to do that. File open CPP DirectX. I wanted to know, like, well, I wanted to start to know what is, you know, what about making everything. So I did this little implementation of Direct 3D. I don't know if you've ever done this stuff, but this stuff is crazy, dude. And managed to do that. Managed to make a triangle with a texture on it. So we're pretty much 90% of the way there. Graphics programming, it turns out, is complex. Much more difficult in theory to produce results. Could result in lower quality. Could pass it off as style. Could possible for projects to implode and never implode, that's it. The game might never get done. How long have I been programming for? Yeah. Graphics programming, I thought, like, you know, I thought I'd give DirectX 11 a go because it was like, that one's pretty easy to get on board with. It's all built into like Windows and everything. And I found this book. It was like Introduction to DirectX 3D. And in the first like 100 pages were just vector and matrices math. I was like, yeah, just tell me the code I need to write. I could imagine it being really, if you could get through it, you could end up like, it could be such a fun project to see once you get 3D models rendering and get some lighting in there and whatnot, but I digress. Oh, that's the other con. It's OpenGL. And I don't want to make that too big a con, but OpenGL is an older thing. It is an older thing. It's an older model, sir. Which, you know, it probably could handle everything you want to do. I've been programming, well, I mean, I wrote Unity scripts for, if you call that programming. What I was writing was probably not good programming. But I learned C# and Unity for a couple of years, maybe 2.5 years. And then I started with some C++. I basically started with C++ this year, about halfway through the year. So I've only really been doing actual C++ programming for a few months, 5-6 months. And yeah, once you start doing that, once you start writing C++ code, it's like you start thinking like, is C#? What's it even doing? I don't even know what it's doing. Like you call functions and use features and it does something, it's doing more than what it's telling you it's doing, you know? Which is kind of frightening when you start to think about it. When I look back at the old Unity code and be like, what was I thinking? You're doing whatever. Linked lists here and there and everywhere. Just traversing linked lists, pulling things in and out of them, making dictionaries and whatnot. All right. So the way to answer this question, I thought one way to do this, a practical test, might be to actually make a very, very small thing in these engines. At least in these 3 ready-made engines, maybe. Something like just a basic 3D track layer, like you can lay little track segments down or something. Maybe you can get a train going around. Something that you could do in like a day or so, a day or two, and then see which one. I don't know if that will really answer the question. You could probably just choose any of them and make it work. You could probably, I don't know, except the custom engine. This one will definitely be a heavy gamble. I mean, I did just mess around with some very basic 3D stuff, doing a little raycast. I had a little model in here, but I think I destroyed it somehow. Oh yeah, I got a little model moving. You know, Raylib is fun though. I just don't know if I believe in the paradigms of the other engines. But like, you know, you could do some sort of engine test where you make a modular track builder, make a train follow the track in 3D. Daisy Trains engine test. Yeah. This is why this philosophy thing is so big, eh? Because you you kind of go, oh, there's a thing to do that. That's cool. Oh, they've got a tool for that. Oh, yeah, do that. Just do the way that they do it. And you're like, oh, I don't know if I believe in it. I don't know if I agree with it. There's some, are we here to make games? Ooh. But I mean, I thought this would be a way to like jump in and like test, do something that's not going to take a million years, like make a full Breakout clones. Yeah, I made my little asteroids kind of game a bunch of times. Breakout's a good one. I think I made Breakout in Odin or something. It didn't work very well. But it's good to go on with something that's why I'm like, take a thing that I already kind of did. Yeah, this is the thing, eh? But this like with Unity, like I remember reading a quote. It was like, making games in Unity is fine, but have you ever tried finishing games in Unity? Like I remember that with Potions. It feels like as the project builds, it just becomes this thing that's so hard to manage. So you get off to this ripping start, and all these things. In Godot as well, you get off to this really fast start, and then you come to some actual problem, and you're like, oh god, what am I supposed to do here? And now you're locked into the workflow, so you just keep going, and you've built like you can't change the fundamental philosophy of the engine. There is the way you do things, and that was what was so cool about Space Game. It's like I just would focus on the things that I wanted, Like I was like, well, it's never going to need X feature. So I just will omit it completely from the code. And what it will need is some raycasting, some other things, Can't even make it into a file. That could be a good point as the performance tests. Lots of trains. Lots of trains. I think the art is going to end up being a like stylized 3D, which I think all of them will be able to achieve. We could put, I don't want to go, because I know myself and I'll end up spending a week on art style. So I just want to kind of more think about the engineering. But yeah, we could do art test. Oh, it's cold in here. AC cranking. And poor old Nature Wizard just getting left behind. Yeah, this seems good. I already started how shader work. You actually have to write the shaders. You have to write like GLSL shaders. And this is like non-trivial because you actually have to write the lighting system. All that all that really Raylib does out of the box is that you send meshes to the draw system and transform them and stuff. So you can work with meshes, and I think it might have animations and stuff. It has animations. Flexible materials, PBR maps, full 3D support, models, billboards, height maps, texture formats, fonts, animated 3D model, skeletal bone animation, shader support, model shaders, and post-processing shaders. I saw a little demo. I downloaded actually a demo. They did a full PBR 3D rendering, and it looked pretty okay, you know. So you can definitely do it. You can build anything off Raylib because it's kind of just a framework, but it is challenging. Well, it doesn't do anything. Like, you have to render your scene down to a render texture and then put that through your own custom shaders. So, I mean, I built a bloom for Space Game, and that's like, that was a whole thing of like rendering to multiple render textures and putting them through all these custom blur shaders and then upscaling them back to the main one and drawing them on top. Like, it's very manual. There's nothing, it doesn't do anything to help. Like Unity, you go bloom and you're blooming. So yeah, everything basically, apart from, all it does is really give you the ability to get started. You have to build everything on top of it. Oh, it's painful. But it is very exciting, like when it works. And you're like, yo, I built a basic feature. Yeah, so I was just messing around with like how a train might move. Like, already I'm using these tools where I'm like, oh, there's a curve editor. Maybe you could make a modular train track system with a curve editor. There is this question on. I was playing Transport Fever, and they do this thing where like you click a point and then you drag to another point and it just interpolates a curve for you to there and then builds a piece of railway track. And then if you were to do one up here, it'd just go kind of like City Skylines. It's kind of going for a realism thing, which I think if it's a puzzle game, this is not the way to go. And then you got like a station or whatever. It must be easier for it to understand like the curve, where's the beginning and end of the curve. But I think I'll start with the modular, just tile-based things. And already I was like, I got these Kenny tiles and they like aren't uniform to a grid, which was kind of annoying. Whether I need to actually build the assets or build some sort of modular mesh builder thing. Yeah. I kind of want to either be able to build a thing, because there's these things. Already I hate it. There are these things. I almost need to large. Yeah, because these are like, I just want them to be one tile big. And they're already some strange scale. So they're like if you look at the grid, you turn off this thing. They don't. Grid settings. We got grid settings. View origin. Is there a thing? Editor settings. Grid map, 3D grid size 200. What if it's 100? Did that change anything? What is the snap button? Oh yeah, it's hard to even see where these things are. Oh, it's below the... Yeah. Put that on 0. Oh, 0. Why is it like that? Where's the central point is on the... there? Yeah, I hate these assets. Delete. Remove. Get rid of them. Get rid of everything. Delete. What is this little tree tile? Delete, remove. Is there anything I can just get? Trains 3D kit. Game div. Train kit, this is where I was, I think. Train kit. Yeah, I believe this is where I was. But the trains were kind of cool, but we need just like really basic train pieces. Mini skate, city commercial. I like the look of this one. That kind of retro look. 3D train kit, game dev. Got any other 3D kits? Train pack for game dev 3D model. Is this going to be a bunch of trains? How's progress in the Funky Games? Is it Funky Games? Camp going. How's morale? Oh wow. Yeah, not what we need. Not what we need, lad. Ooh, free assets. 15G develop. What is this? Oh, I don't even know what this is. Open game art. What do we got? Oh, that's the Kenny one. Oh, $24.99. Ultra realism. Train construction kit. Unity asset store. Yeah, nah. Well, do I have to make something? Is that step 1? What are the things? They got CSG, mesh, polygon, sphere, combiner. I don't know enough about that. Surely there's Blender train kit. Okay, it's going well. Got 3 games in dev. Should have some new builds to play before end of the year. That's cool. That's exciting. The end of the year is looming. Oh, this is the old. Surely it can't be that hard to make in Blender. All we need to do that same thing. We need to do that same thing we did in Pixel Composer. We just need a... It's going to be like, just use geometry nodes. Add a... Add a mesh, which is a cube, which we had before. Make a little sleeper. Hey, come on, man. Yeah, that's a sleeper. Oh, dude. Put it on X-ray mode, man. Boom. Okay. One of these. Add an array modifier. Do it to be at 0, but at this way. Count them out. So if we made this 2 or 4 or 3, the count is 6. Relative offset, constant offset. And then, no, we can't do that. Object offset, oh no. So how big is a thing? Let's make a plane. So this is 1 by 1. Then if this thing was like scaled down to fit in here, so the scale is 0.25, and then it's offset to like negative, we'll just put it at -1. And then add some more of these. And then decrease this. Or just whatever. Increase this. This is where you got to be good at maths. And then push this thing to be like there. So that's 0.9, is it? Whoa, what? 0.09? What was it? -0.9. Thrilling. And then by half of whatever it is, 0.025. Although these aren't quite right, but whatever, that's close enough. Cube X scale Z. Oh yeah, is that how that works? Is that how train tracks look? Where did we put it? 0.15. Yeah. All right, so that is a grid cell size. Back, wow, we've gone full trying to make stuff mode, which could be a bad call. Especially when we start going, yeah, we should bevel these trains. Perfect. Okay. What do train tracks really look like? Whatever. That's what a train track looks like. What we need to do is test and see how this translates. Apply. We'll forego materials right now, shall we? Or should we just do it because it's going to be easier? Material, wood, just to understand the workflow. Put it in this mode. Perfect, rich mahogany. In this, we could join, is it join? Join, Control J, join, rail, wood, rail, new, call it rail. Yeah, it seems good. Metallic high, roughness low. Oh, so shiny. Yo, Adele Tuck meat. What's happening? So there's a thing, where you can delete the camera. Oh, you don't need to do all this, but I might just delete the light for now and delete and go file. You can just save this. Daisy Trains models. Prototype. We'll just call this straight rail. Save as. And then here, I believe you can model. I think you can just div assets, Daisy Trains models. You can put the blend file straight in here, right? Look at that. It even brought the plane in here and the camera. Okay, what if I don't want that on the import? Blah, 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 blah. Visible. Visible only. Re-import. Oh, there we go. Don't really need that camera. Camera's off, re-import. Boom, we have our rail piece. And it seems to have kept its materials. So if we put the rail piece in the game, straight rail, transform, reset to 0, 0, 0. It is, well, how big is one unit? Let us reset this to 111 and reset the, oh, it looks like it's 111. Oh no. Well, it's 1 meter by 1 meter. The straight rail is 2 meters by 2 meters by 2 meters, it seems. So why would that be? Oh, is that because when you make a cube, it's 2 meters by 2 meters, isn't it? It is. So actually, if we open the one in the game, we should be able to edit it. Model straight rail. So we did this in scale, scale, how do you just scale by 30%? We just want to get these two. Oh, it's got some odd scales. We need to apply all transforms. Yeah, that's better. Apply all transforms. That's better. And then we want to scale by 0.5 and by 0.5 all transforms. And then if we save this and we get, oh, it just auto did it. We move the tile down. Boom! A 1 tile large tile. Yes, This is a railway. Yeah, we are taking Daisy trains and attempting to do some engine tests, turn this bad boy into some 3D. This is as far as we got. Yeah, did a lot of 3D work for visual effects. So have spent a lot of time in 3D packages. Not that my modeling is any good or anything, but how do is it F for frame? Yes. Oh, yes. Pretty cool. That is a modular one. Oh, look at that. Beautiful glow. So Blender materials. Everything would have to be actual maps. But anyway, we won't worry about that. This is our tile size, is 1 by 1. And this is our modular piece. And then all we need to do is, we should have done this with geometry nodes. So then we could make other pieces, but we could just do it the manual way. By saving this as curve corner rail. Save as, because now we've baked this down, it's pretty bad. But we'll try just doing something. There's something about curved arrays which are not simple to do. If I make a circle and I make it, how big does it need to be? It needs to be like that, 0.5. Is that right? And then, is there a thing called, let us tab into this, chuck it on extract, grab all that and go, what's the button? Split, separate, selection. So we have this guy that we will go all transforms. Whoops. Set origin to geometry. Cool beans. And then we want to do a add modifier. Can we do an array by fit curve? Curve being U. Oh, perfect. Object offset, object this. Perfect. Generates form physics edit. What is the thing? I think it's just not a thing. I think we need to use geometry nodes, dog. We're going to need to make them again with geometry nodes, or whatever. We're just going to create a plane, and we're going to add a geometry nodes. New. We're going to pretend we know what we're doing in geometry nodes. Geometry nodes. So don't worry about the input geometry. What's the button? We're going to add a circle, curve circle, and we're going to output it here. We're going to delete this one, and we're going to mesh object, scene object info. Can we get this? Yeah. And then we put that in there and it'll render one of those. Okay. Now we want to distribute points on faces, points, curve to points. Perfect. We look at this and we get a bunch of points, and then we want to copy the points or something. Points, instance on points. Boom. We want this instance. Yeah. It's happening. Yeah, curve ones. Bloomin' curve ones. We want the rotation to, is this just going to be uniform? No. How do we do the rotation? Pick instance. Rotation? Rotation. Boom! Look at that. What the? Count how many? Oh, yeah. But the curve... Oh, it's already a point curve, so we don't need to do this whole step. But we will, because it seems like it's good. Radius, 1 meter. We're going to make it radius of 0.5 meter. We can get rid of this. Oh, this wood just doesn't need to be rendered. Okay. How good? Was that it? Oh, resolution. Whoa, that's cool. Count. Okay. Oh yeah, because we want to maybe cull these points, don't we? Clip. Can we clip? Crop. I don't think there is a thing. Count length. Oh, nice. And then we're just going to use the same curve circle. I guess we could create, we could offset it. We could just scale it. Scale, transform geometry. Give me this. And then just scale it. Nice. So we can scale it by, let's have a, it's always more fun doing things on stream because you feel like you're under some sort of pressure to actually make something happen. Not that anyone's really paying attention, but you know, whatever. We're all doing our bits. 0.8, 0.75. No. 0.85. All right, and then can we extrude mesh? I don't think this is going to work. Faces, edges, offset. No, this ain't going to be it. Circle, mesh circle. Radius. Fill triangles. Oh, okay. Okay, so it's like that. It's like that, is it? How do we create a curving mother flipper? Anyway. Geometry, curve, operations. Form curves on surface. Primitive, topology, mesh, primitives. We kind of just need a maybe we don't even need to use geometry nodes for this part. Maybe we just need that. We can add a mesh cube. Oh, this is going to make things non-uniform again, isn't it? Kind of need to make a way to do this. So bend, deform, simple deform, bend. Oh, we need way more points. This is where you just need a thing. Why are we making railway tracks? Dip, dip, dip. Simple. Hey. Make it about. You can make it 360. Kind of alright, I guess. Set origin to geometry. GY. Choo choo. Yeah, cheers, brother. Perfect. Hey. The only problem is if we're trying to make modular tracks, they need to all be the same. So I figure I should figure a way of doing this in here. What does extrude mesh mean? Vertices. Seems to be doing nothing. What is this thing? Oh, what does that do? Oh, this is just link to viewer. Oh, okay, that's cool. Is there a thing called like span? Curve. Operations. Is it fillet curve? Oh wow. Poly. Count. Don't know what fillet curve is doing. Curve, operations, fill curve. I think we tried this already once and it didn't quite produce the result we wanted. Curve, curve, length, sample curve. Curve to mesh. Fill caps. Oops. Oh, there's a profile curve as well. That's cool. So we could have a geometry. We could have a. Can we have a square? Maybe it's another curve. Primitives. Quadrilateral. What does that look like? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And then the profile curve, and then the boom, and then nice. Doesn't quite need to be 2 meters though. Hey doggy. Hey doggy doggy. 0.01. Oh. Hey doggy doggy. We're doing it. Delete that. Oh, yeah, buddy boy. Oh, that's interesting. So it's doing that. That's pretty cool, mate. It's pretty cool, man. It's just doing some weird, like, shading. Shade, set shade smooth, don't shade smooth. Edge. Okay. We didn't need normals. Can we calculate normals? Read normal. Set curve normal. This is actually normal. I'll take it, whatever. I will take it. So this one, this process here just needs to happen another time. The same curve into here. Now we change this and boom. 1.15. What was the ratio? Yeah. And you can make this have a higher resolution if you want. Bada boom, boom, boom. The right track. Blow off some stars. See, I didn't know that was a whole. That was a whole list, a whole train, a whole daisy train of puns right there. But what we kind of really just want set curve normal, set curve, set spline, operations, interpolate, resample, reverse, subdivide, trim curve. Start and end. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, buddy boy. And then we can reduce the count and... Sorry. Can we get this one to not start there and there? How about a little bit of that?
We're not too sure exactly how we're going to do it, but it kind of happens.
I guess we could trim the curve here and trim it back a bit. Oh! Wow. 0.025. And then this is 0.25 minus 0.025. There it goes. 0.225. There was our little corner. And it should be 1 unit big. This has still got some funky issues. Shade flat. Yeah, I don't know why. They just look... Oh, they got no end caps either. We're just being geometrically completed. Oh, we need to... Can we do like a search material... Set material on this. We can join here. This and this. We can put rail and then we can rejoin. Oh, look at that lovely shading. Looks just awful. Can we do some sort of normal? Is there some sort of geometry operations? Right, sample, read, mesh operations. Triangulate. Okay. We are going to pop into this view, or are we? Kind of need... Why can we not? Triangulation kind of seems to good. Triangulation kind of seems to good. Fill caps Oh yeah, fill caps does fill the caps. But it would be cool to do shortest diagonal clip, or it would be cool to be able to have some, turn off this, have it as matte cap and have cavity on and have, where is my thing? Where is my thing, man? Oh, it's this one, my bad. Wireframe. Yeah, we can have wireframe opacity down. I'll give you back in here and we can have our wireframe opacity up so we can see our wireframes. Triangulate. Triangulate. Nice. I don't know why these things are like so ugly. Set, shade, smooth. Off. Oh yeah, that worked better. There we go. A corner piece. And it's even got, oh, it doesn't have, oh, I needed to fill caps on both if we want that. Okay. Probably not necessary, but pretty cool. So if I save this, oh, is this not just going to straight up not work? Because, wow. We need to, this is geo nodes curved. This is our wood sample. This is, we are going to duplicate this. Oh, why did we do that? This is a unit plane. Cube can go away, camera can go away. Close this and we can go apply. Hey, what happened? I made an error somewhere. GeoNodes, dude, where's the log? Wood sample. Okay. Now we should be able to apply. Dude, I really need you to not do that. Relative, original, as instance. Why you apply with no, why you keep destroying my thing? Internal dependencies. Well, maybe instead of doing this, we will just create a primitive cube. Perfect. We'll make it a bit smaller. What does a train track look like? Train track. The rail's on top of the wood. That makes sense. Otherwise, how would the thing work? So X, Y, Z. Why is this so touchy? Yeah, that seems good. But we will transform. If anything, this was fun. Translation along the Z. Come on, man, I need to be really small here. 0.01. 0.001. There, point. Maybe these can go up a bit. What do you mean we're getting lost in the weeds already? Zero point 0.05. 0.005. Okay. 0.005. Okay. We did it. Kind of. Why does that look so bad? Oh, that's rotation. My bad. Okay, we have train track. Nice. So we should be able to now... Oh, this should be the master as well. The wood sample could go away. Yes. Off. Apply. Oh, dude. But why though? I just did this whole thing. Also, set material to wood. Does this join geometry not join the geometry? Geometry, join geometry. Please, sir. Oh, do these need to be like... Do we need to do like a bake instances or something? Oh, my keyboard died. Doot doot. Instance. Realize the instances. Apply. Okay, finally. Curved corner rail. Nice. Oh, we got to do this thing every time. Import. What was the thing? Active custom properties. Cameras visible only. Re-import. Corner rail, just like that. Is there something weird going on? Seems like there is, but whatever. Look at that, and it's on the grid. This thing is gonna go away soon. So we Control D that and move it down here and rotate that bad boy by, come on man, there, and put it there. Oh, and it connects up to that, which we will fix this now. Yeah, it's kind of cool. There is a small issue with the spacing. A mathematical error, minor. But if we copy this whole thing, save it, and open Straight Rail, this is the one that's in Godot, and just axe everything else and paste it in. Go to GeoNodes, Geometry Node Editor, get this thing. Oh, this is the non. Oh my god. You can actually open two things with Blender, but it's kind of annoying. Corner rail, save straight rail, get the, we're going to call this corner rail converted. Oh, we'll just call it corner rail. But this is GeoNodes curved. We can save, we can open recent, straight rail. Okay, so this should still have the thing, and instead of a curved circle, we just want a primitive curve line. And if I put that into here, right, rightio. So start should be at 0, end start should be at y negative 0.5. And end should be at y 0.5. Is that right? Does that seem right? Well. It needs to be like that, right? So that's right. But why is it? Oh, it just needs to be, I don't know why 3.5 meters. I don't quite know that. These geometries don't need scaling. They are creating oddness, but they do need offsetting along the X that way and that way. Oh, but is that going to match up? We kind of need to bring in the curved one. Hello. Open recent corner. Let's bring in the corner rail. In fact, we'll bring in the curved corner rail. Can we do this? Copy. Can we bring this in here and paste? We can. All right. So this is going to be rotated on the Z by 90. And then we'll put snap on and go GX. Oh, come on, man. Snap needs to be like to the absolute grid. I hate this selector. Nope. Come on, man. Work with me. Maybe don't do that. We'll just GX by whatever that is, 0.5. And then GY by 0.5 also. And then we should be able to line our little dudes up. So this looks like it's going to be of course I did it in some weird metric, didn't I? 0.075? No. 0.08. Oh, come on, man. 82. I don't want to click this every time. 83. 0.85 is going to be 0.85 because our maths is good. Close enough. 84. 845. That's maths. This is going to be 0.845. How's it going? Grueling pine. Why does that not work? 745, 755. Close enough. There's going to be weird gaps. We shouldn't change that. Oh. Yeah, that seems to kind of work. And we'll put it out like that. That seems to kind of work. Well, that's great. That's fantastic news. Oh, do I not? Where is the... Oh, we didn't set the material. It's always nice. Life is good is probably the best outcome you could hope for. Vulkan renderer alert. Cool. Yeah, nice to see it. I was just saying over the weekend, I worked on a Direct 3D 11, my first ever, well, not my first ever, but a hello triangle of sorts with a texture on it, and then decided promptly to give up on graphics programming. How does that sit with you? Okay, so this is straight dot 001. Curved can turn off. Straight seems good. We save this as straight. We duplicate this. Rename this. We've not got the realize instances either. Realize instances. Ish. We apply. And we call this rail straight. Save. Come in here. Oh, don't you just love the way it does that? Woohoo, baby. Little tile can be like, that's a little ground tile. Oh yes, the unmanageability factor. Have you had any, did you do any stuff with OpenGL or something of that nature? Or just straight into Vulkan? Oh, dudes. Dudes, the math. There's math issues. Math of issues. Small math issues. But why though? But why though? But why though? That way links up, but that way does not. Oh well. Come on, man. Enough with those. Enough with the dad jokes. But you got to say, I'm going to go give a big point to Godot right now. Why does everything seem so dim? Is it just my directional light's not bright enough? Energy. Oh, there it goes. I'm going to give a point to Godot for that modular blender. What do you call it? Whoa, that glow is intense. The modular blender, the blender workflow is pretty cool. You update your blend file and it just updates in here. That's really handy actually. Can you imagine if you had to do this in Unity every time, re-import the asset and split out the materials and all that? I mean, you're probably going to have to, unless you make like PBR materials. Oh yeah, we building. Doo-doo. Oh yeah, we should be able to actually build ourselves the little daisy train level 1 loop. Whoa! How does that work? Come on, man. macOS OpenGL is deprecated, unfortunately. Vulkan is my best bet without confining myself to Metal. I'm going to say Metal right there, needing to redo the work. Yeah. So this thing, this transform type post, is that what I'm talking about? No. Why would you ever want that? Is this a bug or a feature? Let me pick. Oh, I'm on the wrong tool now. Okay, why are these hanging off the edge? Oh, because that's as far as the tile set goes. Pretty cool when things line up. Yeah. Actually, the one in level 1 has one more 1. Doesn't it? It's like... So I can't select these 3 objects and move them all this way. Why not? That seems bananas. That seems like something that shouldn't be a thing, right? Moving everything one at a time every time. Whoops. Oh, yes, kind of. But this one must just be not quite right? Why is that one off? But are they all off? Or is it just this is off? No, this seems strange. They don't line up. Oh, they all don't line up quite right. But these ones do. Why did these ones do? Is it part of the curve? Local global transform mode. Yeah, that's what I was wondering. I was looking at this view, settings, transform dialog, pre-post, cancel, scene. I don't know. I know is that my curves are slightly off. But you know, so the actual, well, that world environment got glow on, right? Bing bong. Normalized glow seems better. Screen. Wow. Replace. Wow. Mix. That's all right. Oh yeah, this has got SDFGI on, which doesn't seem to do a heck of a lot. Do we have shadows coming from the directional light? Shadows on, off. Why don't I see any? Where's, oh, is it just because it's looking straight down? Will these cast some sort of shadows if they're up and, oh yeah, there they go, there's some shadows. All right. Well, that was fun. The next thing would be to build a little tool to place them down. Oh, writing code, man. So these are scenes, right? So this is the imported scene. And if I do this, it says this. Scene corner rail blend was automatically imported, so it can't be modified. To make changes to it, a new inherited scene can be. Okay, so what is this? Corner rail. So this is an unsaved scene, so this is like a prefab. Why is it just slightly off also? Is this a my bad type of thing? Is this just the way the bounding box gets rendered? Okay, so this, now we'd have to save scene as a, wow, what's up with the snake case? That's another thing. That's another, oh, we're gonna, I want to go back. I need to go back in time. Godot, cons. We need to get back in here and put snake I can't write anymore, but I'm just going to be put GDScript snake case. That's a con. Corner rail. Okay, I'll go snake case. Corner rail.tcn. So this is like a prefab. It has this and the mesh. Okay. And then on the straight rail, corner rail current transform is 000, and this is there. Okay. So this guy, a straight rail, we can do the same thing. New inherited. And scene, save scene as straight rail. Cool. Create a new node 3D and just call it. Oh, do we just create an empty? Is a thing called an empty? No. Marker? No, I don't know. We'll just create a node and call it rail layout test. Nice. And now we need to do, how do we do the thing? So we're going to need some sort of new node called Rail Manager. Oh, we're back into managers. We're back into the managerial system. So GDScript is easy as that. Rail Manager, we'll have a new folder called scripts. Rail Manager. Oh, is it also in snake case? Okay, open. Create. Oh, we are in this beautiful editor with this lovely syntax highlighting. Editor settings. General text editor. Where is it? Why have I got this weird Cascadia code on everything? Theme. Default. Godot 2. Yeah, okay, we'll do Godot 2. Whoa, okay. Func ready. Func process. So, I guess the first thing to do, what is this cursor? First thing to do is learn how to write GDScript. So we want to get maybe we want to do how do we? Here we go. Godot get object under mouse. You should be able to get viewport, get mouse position. Use an intersect point. Page not found. Nice. 6 years ago. Get mesh under mouse. Get mesh under mouse. Do we need the mesh itself? Or do we need to build a grid? Do we need to have some sort of grid system? Where we get the mouse, mouse position in a 3D scene is a little more tricky. Interact with mouse, blah de blah.
First, we create a script for the camera. So, is a mouse event mouse. Then we get the position, set it to be the mouse. Then we check again if the event is a mouse button and event pressed. We say if event mouse button index left. If it's a left mouse button, then we get selection. So we're gonna create that function. Okay, now we say world space state So you get world, get direct space there. World space, I mean. Then we get the start point for the array course. And that's where the mouse is on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, we're extending the. Then the endpoint, project the array position, mouse is again. All the way. Result. Let's save and run that. And now, like you check down here. If I click on something, get a collider, static body, and stuff like that.
Stuff like that.
It starts with
This is the other funny thing I could do all the tutorials like this. Oh, well, this kind of could work. Why is this on the camera?
of the sphere here. If we click on it, collider sphere, it's the name, and then it
So they need colliders?
the script that says die. Go back in the camera, alt collider.
Couldn't we just get the mouse position divided by something and be like, this is where we are in the world? Or maybe we get the thing. Maybe we get the thing. Do we add nodes? Add collider. Collision shape. Collision polygon. This only serves to provide a collision shape to a collision object derived node. Rigid body, character body. Do these come with collisions on them, these CSG boxes? Use collision. Nice. Can I do it for all of them? Nice. Rail manager. Okay, we'll try this thing. Already I feel feels bad, man. Pop out that.
Collider has method die.
Alright, we don't need that. Well, how do we read it? Alright. So I want to be able to see this. Vector 2 mouse position. How do you write things? Export var mouse position of type vector 2. Okay, now we have mouse position up here. So there's a func input, which is a built-in function, right? Event. It takes in an event. If event is input event mouse. Okay, we're coding in Python. So that's some old okay, so you need to write mouse position equals event dot position. That's a real thing? Okay. So what happens if I run this? Do we have a camera in the game? Select main. Okay, we see nothing because maybe we have no camera. Camera. Camera 3D. Bring it up. Bring it up. Bring it up. Rotate, my friend. Preview the camera. Looks good. Don't preview the camera. Bring it up a little bit more. Nice. All right. Oh, this is the thing that sucks. Now we go. Now we're going to go to this remote thing. Open main. Look at our rail manager. And then. Okay, it is updating the value and it's getting what looks like a screen position. Is this 0, 0? Yes. Good-o! So what was next? We don't need the mouse button down just yet. We just wanna... We're trying to get the thing, right? I don't know if I can write in. We're just gonna do it. We're gonna try. What is the world space? Get world dot direct get world 3D. Things have changed. Dot direct space state. Of course. So what does this do? What is the direct lookup symbol? We just use var because we don't know what it is. Oh yeah, we can make this big again. Does this tell me what all this stuff is? What is it? I don't know. Var, so is this vector 2? What am I doing? Am I doing correct code? No. Expected found identifier. Not found. Oh, is this why it's got to be on the camera? Oh, I see. And this... can we rename this? Scripts, Rail Manager, rename. Mouse pick. You can only put one thing on a camera, so should this be Shakazulus? I don't know. Detached script. Okay, so it works. Is this a vector 2? Oh, that's right. It's all backwards, man. How do we do it? Var. Okay. Var end object position mouse position 1000 var result world space dot intersect ray start and end too many arguments. What do you want? What does intersect ray do? Lookup symbol. Intersect ray. Intersects ray in a given space, ray position, and other parameters defined through physics ray query. Physics ray query parameters. Well, this is not how this works anymore. So I need to do we need to do a fresh search. Godot mouse ray intersect 3D. How to cast a ray from the mouse position. When was this? Bloody blah. Years ago. Params. Physics ray. Just, BD. Hey, hello, Chili. We've hit a small roadblock. Hey, BG. We've hit a small roadblock, Chili Beans, when it comes to what? 2 point is calculated. I don't know what any of that means. What is the best way to do mouse picking direction? Get position of mouse click in 3D space. Blah, 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 blah. Get world space state. Cam equals camera node. Mouse position equals get viewport. Okay. End equals origin plus... See, that's the thing with Godot. Every time you look up code, it's some hacky solution. You're like, what's the real solution? Physics raycasting. Raycasting. Space, addressing space. More directly, space state equals get world 3D direct space state. Raycast query. Collision, blah de blah, collision mask, 3D raycasting from screen. Object picking. Collision object 3D has an input event signal that will let you know when it was clicked. Interesting. So it's always happening. Signals, input event, emitted when the object receives an unhandled input event. Event position is the location of world space of the mouse pointer. So what? These things all emit a signal when they're clicked? So you got to connect to all of them? How does that help? Let's do it the manual way. The manual. If input and camera equals camera 3D from camera project. Okay. Love learning new languages and game engines. Input event. Okay, we can do it here. We've just got this thing. From equals camera 3D. Var from equals project ray origin. We were doing that already, weren't we? Oh yeah, mouse position. I think I just... Okay, so we don't need this yet. Start, and we'll call it from. var2 equals from plus camera project ray normal. Interesting. Mouse position. Times radian to degrees or something? Ray length. What is the ray length? Oh, okay. Times 1000. We'll make a const. Ray length. Blum, 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 blum. So this is a const ray length. Const ray length. Don't know how to. Equals 1000. Oh, we don't do ifs, do we? So what? Hey. Now what? This query should be run in physics process. So how does this help? Query. Is this it? What do we then do with this? Okay, so we need this var query equals physics ray query parameters 3D dot create, which requires a to and a from and a to a collision mask. Oh, so these are, so we get that, and then we get results equals space. Oh, we didn't get the space state again. Now we need the var space state equals get world 3D direct space state dot intersect ray with the query, and okay, nothing happens. That's pretty good. Can we print result dot? Okay. CSG box. Well, it seems to be working. D9, 3D. 3D, it should be the middle one. Okay. Tabasco, what are you doing, buddy? We managed to get the selection. Seems this is a lot to do every frame. It says to do it in the physics process. But whatever. We don't really need any of this information. I mean, it's good to know where the mouse is, but what we really want to do, I guess, is be able to then have a 3D object that follows the mouse around or something. How do we then say we've got the object? Results dot. So what is result? So you do this, and then it types them. Result dot. So what is result? Any. So it's a dictionary. Of what? it could be anything. What does intersect ray return? Turned object is a dictionary with the following fields: the colliding object, the colliding object's ID, the normal, the position, the intersection point, RID. So the RID resources unique identifier, collider ID, interesting. So I figure the, oh, where did we go? Mouse pick. So I figure the thing to do is then get the position of that hit and make an object follow around that hit. If results dot size is greater than 0, print result. Is this a thing? Okay, so we can get the position. So we can say position equals hit position equals result dot position dot values. Oh shucks, chili beans. Do we have to loop through all of them? Result. How do you do a looping thing? For in result, something in result, for, oh god, ditto dictionary loop. For key in result value equals result key. Print value. It's going to be the same thing. Interesting. It does it in a different format. Value dot position. Type vector 3. Oh, this is each value. Okay. If value man, how do you check if it's a vector 3? For key in result. So we don't want the thing, we want var hit position equals result dot position, print hit position. Oh yeah, there we go. Now we've just got the thing. Cheers, mate. Yeah, we're just floundering a little bit. We're getting in there. We're doing a bit of this and a bit of that. Thanks for hanging out. Good luck with the morale and the... This is a dumb way to do it, but we're doing it the dumb way. Yeah, this is you just need a grid. This is where you just need a grid. But then what if we have terrain that is different shape, a different height? Then perhaps the ray method is better. What's going on, doggies? Actually, doesn't look like much because it isn't. I know, Chili. We did make some modular rails that almost line up nicely. We kind of. What's that? In Blender, we got a little geo nodes going. That was kind of cool, which we'll be able to use in prototyping. Oh, that's so shiny. Anyway. So yeah, I might actually just call it there. This was supposed to just be a quick streamish. We had also a look at engines, pros and cons, and we're to here. Daisy Train's engine test, make a modular track builder, make a train, follow the track in 3D. Whoops, performance test and an art test. And see which one's the best for this project. Anyway, are we back? We're back to do a little more. Oh yeah, and that was the other thing. We've got some work coming up, so we might have to do that as well. But anyway, we will catch you on the next one. And yeah, make some more trains. Peace out.